Hey guys, in today's video, we are going to be doing a get ready with me. We're going to be talking about a new facial device that I have tried out recently and discovered and really been loving, as well as some new makeup that I'm super excited to share. But before we get started, I do want to thank Amiro for partnering with me on a portion of today's video. This is the Amiro RF facial device. I actually got this sent to me from the brand back in April. They asked if I wanted to test it to see if it would be a good fit for me. And I'm super excited because this is something right off the jump, I was kind of like, I don't know if I believe that over-the-counter devices like this really give you results. I sort of thought they were kind of like very subtle or not enough for something for me to really recommend to you guys or anything like that. And as I've been using this, the sculpting and lifting portion, when I use this daily, I can instantly tell. It helps to prep my face beautifully with that lifting and sculpting that I've incorporated it into my daily makeup routine just to feel my best. This is something that while I was kind of taking my break, I was testing this product as well. And skincare is something that really helps me relax. It's something that, despite the fact that I'm kind of dealing with some elevated anxiety lately, this was something that really forced me to sort of slow down and really take care of my skin and kind of like take some deep breaths and really enjoy the moment. I know that's kind of like cheesy, but when I tell you how this works, you'll see what I mean. So this is a 4-in-1 device. There's quite a few ways that this works. One of the modes here is the firming and lifting EMS mode. I use this during the day. So EMS stands for electrical muscle stimulation. And this is the kind of like forcing you to slow down type idea that I'm talking about. You do apply the gel to this. It's a conductive gel. And when you actually place it on the skin, you will see it and feel it working as you do those upward motions. It does have a very tangible lifting type effect. I'm going to show you guys in the demo as well because it's pretty crazy. I can notice an instant depuffing and a slight lifting after about 3 to 5 minutes of using this on just one side of my face. It's definitely renewed my faith that these devices that you can get at home can actually be effective. I didn't think this was something that I could noticeably see this fast. So that's one of the features, is that electrical muscle stimulation. I use this daily to help with that morning kind of bloating feeling in the face that can sometimes happen. The other mode that this offers is the RF treatment, or the radio frequency treatment. This is something that Amiro recommends that you actually use at nighttime. So I've been using this one at nighttime and only a couple times a week. It does work to soften lines, so it really helps your skin produce more collagen and to slowly soften. Now for myself, my most prominent wrinkles are on my forehead. That is something I treat with Botox. So when it comes to this device, I like to kind of use it around my like smile lines and things like that, and that has helped to soften over time, which I've really appreciated. This device does have both infrared and red light, so that actually works to really penetrate the skin deeply. So when I was actually learning about this product and figuring out like, why is this working for me? Like some of these other devices I've tried in the past, I've noticed next to nothing. So what's the difference with this one? This one, I'm going to show you guys a graphic right here. This one is kind of showing how the Amiro device with those 6 electrodes really penetrate the skin and how they work together. This is compared to other devices that have 5 electrodes or even fewer that don't penetrate the skin as deeply. So you can see that the effectiveness of this one is definitely more significant just by how it's built. This head is really flat, so it doesn't have like a raised portion or anything. When you're actually working with this, it's nice and smooth. And there is multiple levels here. So you can actually see a power button on the side. That's how you turn it on. I'll show you guys the demo. Like I said, we have the 2 modes that I just talked about. And then there's a level indicator. So you can actually work your way up the levels. You don't have to go full blast with the top level. You can work to that. I started with the lowest level and I found it was very tolerable. As I was working with it, I've now gone up to the highest level, and it's definitely something that is not painful or anything. It just feels kind of like a light pulsating effect on the skin. So I'm just going to turn it on by pressing the red button, and it should make that like that sound. There's the 2 modes there at the top. So we have firming and lifting, and then we also have the wrinkle fading and anti-aging RF, or radio frequency. So default, it's on the wrinkle fading. When I use this during the day, I do want to use the firming and lifting portion, because that's the one that I personally use for during the daytime. It really does help to depuff and lift and tighten. Pressing the red button again, you're going to switch the mode. So we're switching from the wrinkle fading to the firming and lifting. This is the green light on the little machine there. You'll be able to see that. And then we're going to adjust the level. So you can really just do however you prefer. I like to start from as low of a level as possible and then work my way up. So as you're kind of testing and working with it, you'll notice that you can go up in level if you would like, but you do have the level up and level down options as well. And I do like how you can actually hold this relatively well. As you guys know, I did fracture the top of my ring finger on my dominant hand, so it's sometimes difficult to hold some things, but this is actually really easy to hold. It just rests really nicely. Now I'm going to be applying the gel. This is the gel that they have created to work really well with this device. Making sure that your face is cleansed, but nothing else over top of it. So I like to put serums and doing any other like moisturizing techniques after using this and then priming the skin for makeup. But this is what I'm going to just start off with. My face is cleansed, it's dry. I'm going to show you guys how insane this is. So I'm just going to go on this side of my face and we're going to see the difference between this side and this side. You want to go really slowly and in upward motions. So just like this. For the forehead, you go straight from your brow bone and up, like this. Really exercises those muscles for you, kind of like strength training for the face, you know what I mean? I do strength training for the body 3 times a week and nothing for my face as of yet. So this is kind of like the strength training for the face. If you guys have heard of face yoga, there's people that do that as well. I've noticed face yoga whenever I do facials. Like I know my facialist will do that and I find it can be intimidating at times when you're trying to figure out like which hand motion to do and which way to stretch what muscle. And I know it's very trendy and it's very good at anti-aging and stuff, but I just like this device because you can either do this in lieu of, you know, any of that yoga type stuff, or you can do it in tandem, so at the same time. And it really does help to maximize those results. Also really helps in the morning when I'm using this because you do have some puffiness kind of after you've slept. It does help to lift the face beautifully. So you can see that on this side of the face, there is more of that slightly refreshed, rejuvenated skin look. On this side, we do have a little bit still of droopiness, a little bit of puffiness. It's not super extensive. I don't have like big edema or anything, but I feel like I notice instant results. And as I have been working with this, I have found that it just keeps getting better and better as I work with it. Now, once I've done the other side of my face, I will then completely wipe off the gel. Just do clear water is fine. And then I'd proceed with my serums and any other skincare that I would do, and then I'd prime my skin getting ready for the makeup. I'm gonna show you guys a picture as well. This is something I just took on my phone so I can show you guys the difference there of how much I feel like it has really depuffed that side of my face and slightly lifted. We're not talking about something crazy. We're talking about significant enough, but not something that's gonna make you look lopsided, and that's what I want. I just want to look more refreshed, like I've had a full night's sleep and I just had a facial at a spa. I'm fully relaxed. That's kind of what I'm looking for. You have full control over it and I really, really like the results. Amiro has given me a discount code if you're interested. I'll put all the information on the screen as well as in my description box with a link and in the pinned comment there. Super excited for you guys to test it out if you are interested. Like I mentioned, there are people that are really passionate about that facial yoga and doing those types of, you know, muscle stretching in the face, not only to help like promote drainage and get your skin looking its best, like not super puffy. You can do those exercises and work with this device and it'll give you just that little extra when it comes to effectiveness and results. But I find facial yoga to be like, that topic for me is just, whew, like right over my head. I can't even begin. I feel like I'm gonna mess up my face or like squish the wrong thing. So I do like that this really does the work for you. Amiro is also doing one of their biggest sales right now, which is in the summer. So it's a great way to check out the device if you guys are interested. Now let's try out all the new makeup that I got recently. I think most of this is from Sephora, and there's also some PR products. We do have a new eyeshadow stick. This is the Bobbi Brown dual-ended long wear cream shadow stick. And these are really exciting because we've got two different shades and they're supposed to be complementary to each other. One is a shimmer shade, one is a matte shade. You have to go really quickly with them. That's kind of my tip because I do find if it's a good formulation, it's going to be a little bit stiffer because it doesn't want to crease on you, but the downside of that is the blending capability. It has to be blended pretty quickly while it's still setting there for you. Otherwise, it will solidify in place and then it's going to look a little stark. I really work quickly with these for that reason. This looks like it's going to be a medium coverage. Can see a nice little wash of color there. Definitely more than light. Almost has a bit of an iridescent to it. This shimmery side of the pencil is called Pink Mercury. The other side is called Nude Beach. I'm going to go in with that now on the outer portion of the lid, just for some contrast. Oh, this is a really beautiful color. Oh, this one is stiffer. The matte side for sure is a bit stiffer than the shimmer. I find too, sometimes the oils of your fingertips, if you don't mind using your fingertip, I find they work really nicely with the stick shadows just to kind of like melt things in a little bit versus a brush. I'm gonna add liner, mascara, and lashes, and we're gonna come back for some new base products. I'm going to be using the Westman Atelier Skin Activator 4 Primer today as well. I thought this was gonna be a lot bigger than what it is. I don't know why. This is kind of like a gel serum consistency. So this is like skincare as well as primer. Putting that all over the forehead as well. Yeah, it doesn't smell like anything at all. So if you're scent aversive, this is a nice one, but it has like a teeny bit of a tackiness as well. So it's really going to adhere to that foundation. This is actually a new one from Guerlain, Terracotta Le Teint, I think is how you say it, by Guerlain. This is a healthy glow, natural perfection foundation, 24-hour wear, 95% natural derived ingredients. So that's really awesome. This has a lot of perfume as well. I can definitely smell it. So I think that's something that Guerlain is known for, but this one almost feels like a little stronger in scent. Like it's quite potent with this one. This is slightly too dark, but that's okay. We'll work with it. Just kind of for perspective, that's literally how much I'm putting on my brush every time I'm placing it on the skin. It's really carrying. We're gonna go over it one more time with the sponge. And I feel like this foundation does benefit from having that hydration from the sponge a little bit, like working with the product. With just a brush application, I find it's a little bit on the drier side, just slightly. I did set with my Lawless powder. This is the Perfecting Powder, Talc-Free Skin Smoothing. I really like this one because it does a great job of just having that light mattifying effect to the skin. And we've already started, oh, there's a little puff behind it. I keep forgetting. This is a lovely one though. It's really lightweight on the skin. I do like that. The bronzer that we're going to use today, I've already started putting it on my cheeks because I need to layer the heck out of this one. The shade is too light. This is the Naked Desire by Pat McGrath. It's the Divine Bronzers and the shade is Naked Desire. I wanted Naked Honey, like so bad. And of course it's sold out. So I actually went a shade lighter than I did darker, and I should not have done that. Probably should have just gone darker and then really like applied it light with a light hand. Now I have to apply like a million layers of this one. But it's a nice one. It reminds me of the Divine blushes. So if you are a fan of that, it's a similar formula and you can see it. I mean, now that I've got a million layers on, you can see it. But I think Naked Honey would have been a nice one to like really add a couple of layers, but not 4 or 5. The highlighter today I have to show you guys, if you are familiar with Florasis, this is a brand that has beautiful packaging and like almost so beautiful that you don't even want to touch it. Like, look at this. This is one of the highlights they just sent me. It's like it's a piece of art. It's so beautiful. And then when you actually open it up, you see this stunning flower. I'm going to zoom in on this detail for you as well. It looks insane. It's so pretty. Like, just the embossment in this powder, it just takes your breath away. It's like, whoa, just all the intricate detailing. I'm going to use the BK Beauty 113 for this one. And we're going to lightly, because sometimes these things come out so shimmery. Oh, wow, look at that. That is already pulling quite a bit. You guys can see. You got to be so careful. I'm already putting this on the other cheek because 2 layers was like, wow, it's too much. It's one of those ones that I think it's so gorgeous if you keep it more subtle. If you want to amp it up with a bit more of that frostiness, you can. And you can just add more to the skin and it'll look like glass and just so frosted. Now for blush, I'm going to use the Armani Luminous blushes. I have been really loving these. The Luminous Silk blushes, it's kind of the extension of the Luminous Silk foundation line, which is a big, big seller for them. This is the shade number 51. Let's just lightly dab. This is one that's very versatile. I like to put highlight on and bronzer and then just kind of put the blush together. But you can see it starts off like a little bit sheer if you want. This is a dense blush brush as well from the Sephora collection. Super lovely, very easy to use. Look at that. It's just building, building, building. I do have my stamp of approval on those blushes if you are interested because they are lovely. Now let's set the skin with one of my new setting sprays. This is from Lisa Eldridge. It is part of her Seamless Skin line. This is the Skin and Makeup Enhancing Mist. It looks like it can be used for either step, probably for prep as well as for finishing or for refreshing. I love the packaging. I think it's so luxurious, really, really beautiful. She also has a cleanser, and I thought that I got the cleanser too, but I didn't. I got the cleansing cloths. Kind of has a bit of a cooler temperature. It's really nice and relaxing. Wow, that's a nice one. I do like this. It was kind of crazy to get it to me in Canada because every time I order Lisa Eldridge, I get slammed with duties and taxes. But her makeup is so nice, so it's definitely worth it. Lastly, we're going to finish with this new one from NARS. This is the Afterglow Sensual Shine Lipstick. Love the packaging. This is so beautiful. The shade is Dolce Vita. And I hope this doesn't clash. Much more pigment than I thought too. Does this lipstick clash though? No, I don't think so. Hopefully not. I think ideally I would have wanted a little bit more of a nuder color, but I actually do think this is lovely. Once again, thank you so much to Amiro for partnering with me on a portion of today's video. This is the lovely RF facial device if you are interested in a facial device that has some lovely options for lifting, sculpting, as well as some anti-aging and wrinkle benefits. This is a great one. You can definitely use my code to save some money on purchasing one of these if you are interested, but definitely renewed my faith in these types of products over the counter that actually have some tangible benefits instead of having to go to a professional every time for those types of treatments. Until my next one, guys, take care and stay safe. Bye, guys.